Hello, hello, hello. Testing 1, 2.
Oh,
but yeah, I know Mac and I are 8 years apart, so.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool. Yeah, you guys look alike, so.
For sure. That's usually what everybody says. You guys are like twins.
Poor guys.
I just have more facial hair because I'm better than him, so.
Can Mac even grow facial hair?
He can. It's coming. He's getting like the Mennonite chin strap coming.
Yeah.
I want to include this. So, Mac, you suck. You can't grow any.
How's that peach fuzz treating you, boy?
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Two Idiots Podcast. I'm Reg.
I'm Randy.
We interrupt your regularly scheduled programming with breaking news.
Breaking news. Support for the Two Idiots Podcast is brought to you by Manscaped. They are the best in men's below-the-belt waist grooming, and Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels.
Ooh. Manscaped just launched in the UK and also in Canada. We've gone years without using the right tools for the job. You can be one of the first men in England and Canada to experience their life-changing products. Absolutely.
You know, we've all been there where you're shaving below the belt, you're getting ready for a date, you know, maybe going out for an anniversary dinner.
Yeah.
And, you know, you're getting a little vigorous, you're not paying attention because you've been there before. All of a sudden, boom, you feel a sting, a pinch.
Yep.
Next thing you know, there's blood everywhere.
Yep. I've definitely gone there using subpar products when you're kind of trimming the hedges a little bit, going around, you know, making ornaments, you know, making things look all nice.
For sure.
But then you definitely get the little rip and tug, the little nip.
You know, we all just want to keep it fresh, and that's why Manscaped has redesigned the electric trimmer. The Manscaped engineering team has perfected the greatest ball trimmer ever created and just released the new and improved Lawnmower 3.0 in the UK and Canada.
3.0, the Lawnmower, which is a great name. I love it.
Oh, it's excellent.
But their third-generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents like this. Oh, look at that. Look how shiny that is.
Ooh, look at that. Now, when I tell you this thing's premium, I mean premium. This battery lasts up to 90 minutes on a single charge.
Now, if you have to take 90 minutes, you should maybe do it a little more often.
Yeah.
But you can. You know you can.
For sure.
Things get out of hand. You know, you let the grass grow in a little too long. Like that, you know, the neighbor beside you that never cuts their lawn. It's
Exactly.
like that.
Like now, you can also take this thing in the shower with you. It's completely waterproof. You can go in there. You can get all nice and clean, soap up. Maybe jump in there with the wife or the girlfriend, and
clean
you
up
make
together,
it a team effort.
You know, make it a whole thing.
Yeah, there's some hard to reach spots. You know, we all need a hand every now and then.
Make a day of it. And speaking of hard to reach spots, it has a light, so it also works as a flashlight. Say you're in a pinch, you're going in the crawl space looking for Christmas ornaments, and you don't have a flashlight handy.
Hey,
bring your trimmer.
Look at that.
Your ball trimmer.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Dual purpose.
Yep.
That's all I want in my machines is something I can use more than one thing for.
Yeah, especially lights. You never know when you'll be. Say you're getting firewood for the bonfire. Bring your ball trimmer.
Absolutely. Now
Going
look.
camping.
Yeah. Now look, they've upgraded this thing to a 7,000 RPM motor with quiet stroke technology. Ooh. You could have the in-laws in the house. No one's gonna know what you're doing, right? Sometimes you're worried, like, oh, they're gonna know I'm in here. But no, not anymore. You got the quiet stroke technology.
As opposed to them thinking you're just taking an hour-long shit.
Yeah, exactly.
You can, instead, trim your nuts.
Exactly.
Not that you should be showing your in-laws your balls, but you could. You could. So let's not forget about the charging stand. Show off your mower, loud and proud. Look how stylish that is. Clean, cut,
snazzy,
stylish. You can show the in-laws this without any worries. So, yeah, it's powered by USB. And if you're listening to us speak right now, I want you to experience it firsthand for yourself.
Let's get that bush to tush clean.
Ooh, zip it right off. Zippity-doo-dah. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code IDIOTS at manscaped.com.
Let's make your testes their besties.
The besties. Hey. That's idiots, IDIOTS, at manscaped.com.
Now, we can't urge you guys enough. Go help them out. Go help us out. That's, again, get 20% off with free shipping with the code IDIOTS at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com. Use the code IDIOTS, IDIOTS. Your balls will thank you.
They will. And we will. Let's work together. Joining us this week, we have Micah Loewen. Is that your name?
Yes, sir.
That's who you are?
That's me. That's
Micah?
Yeah.
All right. Well, welcome here.
Cool. Thank you, guys.
Mr. Loewen.
Good to have you.
Another Menno in the house.
Yeah.
I'm outnumbered again.
Well, you live here. I think that means you're perpetually outnumbered.
True. Do you have a street named after your last name?
No, I do not, unfortunately.
What a loser.
I know.
Oh, man. I don't know if there's a Weeb Street.
I feel like there is.
We're gonna find
in
out.
Winkler, yeah, for sure.
yeah,
maybe not.
But that's Jan Seed. We don't trust them.
We don't talk about that.
No, we don't trust that.
There's got to be a Weeb in Steinbach
Street.
somewhere.
There's a Weeb Road and Weeb Funeral Homes. So whatever
All
that's
right.
worth. I don't know where Weeb Road is though. Let's find out. We're gonna find. This is a real good start. To the podcast.
Here we go.
Weeb Road.
Yeah, forget the guests. It's all about just finding roads on this podcast.
This is really our mission, the mission right here.
Yeah, it's south of the 205, about 2-3 miles south of the 205, right along the number 12. Oh, it's south of Grunthal.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that's not so great. Never mind. Forget we brought this up. I don't, we don't need to be associated with that town. Except Red Wing Diner. Go check it out. Anyway, so Mr. Loewen, welcome here.
Thank you.
So tell people about yourself a little bit. What's interesting about Micah Loewen?
Well, that's a good question. Loaded question for sure. So, I guess I'm pursuing music. That's kind of one of the things that I'm trying to focus on a lot more lately.
Like hip hop or what?
Yeah, just like trap. What do they call it? No, I guess singer-songwriter style, a little bit of alternative influences. Like I would have listened to a lot of John Mayer, and there's some country influences as well. So,
like old school country, you thinking, or I mean, you're kind of young. So what is old school country to you anyway?
I remember back in the day, me and my dad would listen to Bluegrass, and we started as a joke pretty much because we thought it was kind of goofy, some of it, but then all of a sudden we'd listen to it more and we'd be like, oh, we actually dig this.
That's fair. It's fair.
Starts out ironically, and then it's like, oh shit, yeah, this is actually
my thing. Yeah.
But nowadays I don't really listen to Bluegrass, but like I do love I do love the influence from a lot of different areas. So like I grab a bit from alternative, I grab some influence from some like lighter rock, like alternative rock, and then there's obviously country influences. So
nice,
right? Yeah. Some of the first artists I remember listening to were Alan Jackson,
nice,
and then my parents would have listened to some Johnny Cash, stuff like that. But then also a lot of Christian influences. So yeah, there's been a lot that
some Loewen brothers go way back. No, that sounds very similar to actually my musical influences. Not that I'm a musician, because I am not, but it's very similar. Like my dad was the same way. He would listen to Bluegrass and we would hate it, or he would listen to polka for some reason, and he seemed to get a kick out of it, and none of us did. And I think he just enjoyed torturing us. But
fair enough.
That's always a possibility. For sure.
I mean, I can appreciate some bluegrass, like with the banjo and that type of stuff. It's kind of interesting, I guess.
There's skill to it for sure.
Totally.
To some of it.
I was in Gatlinburg, Tennessee a while back, and then we were in this like sort of like a town square, and they had a bluegrass group playing, and again, it just so happened we were there when they were playing, and I was like super intrigued by the musicianship and just how well they're able to. The performance of it, like just they're able to be really like entertaining as well at the same time. So and usually like in bluegrass stuff there's lots of different members of the band, so it gets pretty exciting. They're running around the stage and stuff like that. It was entertaining to say the least. But no, again, it's not like I draw a lot of inspiration from bluegrass nowadays, but
it was still something kind of formative.
Right.
So speaking of your music, I mean, of course, that's most of the reason I think why we got into contact. I heard your first one, which I'm now forgetting the name of, but it's on Spotify. Check it out. I can't remember even how I came across it. Was it? I wonder if someone shared it. Yeah, someone must have shared it on Instagram or something. Maybe a mutual friend or something. Yeah. And I listened to it. And I'm like, all right, I dig it. I don't know, local guy, sounds good.
Yeah, it's a good sound for sure.
Your new one came out. It's called More. How long did that take to come up with, and kind of tell us the process? How's that go?
Okay, well, it's the perfect year to be releasing music. Everything would work out perfect.
Just like most things. It's really smooth. Everything's super easy this year.
It's been a good transition for sure.
I'm glad.
For sure. Yeah, no, it's been a journey for sure to get to where I released this. So I got in touch with a producer. His name's Adam Young from the city. He produces some other stuff like Quentin Blair.
Oh, cool.
locally. And
right.
so
Friend of the show, former guest on the Two Hits podcast. Cool.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So I got in touch with Adam, and he mentioned, he'd be interested in working with a young artist like me, and I was looking for someone new to work with, to dial into some more of what I wanted to be releasing. And so that was probably, I think, last November or December. I got in touch with him, and we started forming sort of a bit of a plan for what we wanted to do. I had a few songs that were juggling around, and we sort of landed on this one and another one that we started recording. And so, and then it was supposed to sort of be a side project for me, although I wanted to focus on it quite heavily. But then obviously there was a lot of interruptions with how the year went. Yeah. We started recording, I can't remember if it was in January and February we started. And then sort of just the back and forth with the way that we produced it. He's in the city, so we did a lot of back and forth track exchanges and stuff like that from my place where I have a little studio set up, and then to his place. So it was, we had a vision for what we wanted to happen initially, but then there was stuff that we changed, and we incorporated new stuff, and we had some extra musicians hop along. We got some excellent studio musicians on the track too. So cool. Nice. Tried to form it into something good, and with both of our busy lives, obviously it took longer than we wanted to, but we got something out there, and I'm proud of it. So,
nice. Yeah. For sure. It's a catchy tune for sure.
It is.
It's got like I was telling Reg before, it's like a Core Blund vibe to it, and like it's sort of folky and a little bit slower, but like. Yeah. But your voice is so different from his that it differentiates the whole thing.
Yeah, I like it. And again, it's so well produced that you wouldn't, I mean, not to be derogatory, it's not like a local kid made it. You know what I mean? Whatever that means.
Yeah, yeah.
You could totally just hear it, and it's
not like this show. We'll put it there. It's polished, it's refined.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of our charm. Let's call it that.
There you go.
But no, I like it. Are you working on an EP or an album or anything?
Yeah, so the plan is I'll probably follow up with another single that we're working on, and then after that, follow up with an EP and move from there. So
excellent.
Nice. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So but there's no time frame, I guess, just sort of as or do you have more songs recorded already, or are you just kind of?
If I were to let you in on how many songs I've written that I've started recording, or just like thoughts or ideas, I had a goal at the beginning of this year. I was going to write 100 songs.
Wow.
And I didn't have melodies for all of them, but I was just trying to get into a mode of just like writing a lot and crafting that part of the songwriting.
Sure.
There's a lot of stuff that I have either just demos for or scratch tracks for, just where I've started the process. So
yeah.
Right. What sort of is your, and I think we've asked this before to other musicians who've been on, is like, what is your process? Do you just have like, suddenly a lyric just comes into your head and you're like, okay, I got to write that down right now and just start forming it? Or do you have like a deliberate, okay, I'm going to sit down for a couple hours and start banging stuff out?
Yeah, it's often a mixture of both. Because I'm still a young artist, there's still things I'm trying to fine tune for how I do stuff. But I think no matter where you're at, I think it's always going to be a bit of a mixture. But for me, often what happens is I might have a thought, I may have like a line or even just a theme that I want to work around. And so I'll usually start writing. And then I often find that my first verse, or even sometimes I'm going into a first chorus, it gets like tossed out because the true inspiration kind of starts when you stream of consciousness writing, stuff like that. So oftentimes, like I'll write maybe half a page, I'll write, and then I'll sort of find, okay, this is the direction I want to go, and oftentimes it's much different than what I thought the song was going to do.
Right.
But and then from there, I'll pick up my guitar sometimes and try and find a bit of a melody I want to work with, and and find a progression I want, and then it kind of develops from there. So
that's fair. That's fair. Like I said, that's a lot more process than we could claim. I've actually been wanting to learn how to play guitar, and I haven't made any progress on that.
Make it a quarantine project, man.
Hold on one sec. Sorry, phlegm. But yeah, basically, because when we my friend in Vancouver, he has a guitar and he always has it out. So when we're hanging out there, then we'll just kind of kill in time on vacation or whatever. I'll just sort of cling, cling, plang, 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 whatever, just play around a little bit. I have no idea what I'm doing. And these stupid sausage fingers aren't great for that anyway. But it's something that I would enjoy, I think, whether it's just catharsis and just sort of...
I say it feels like it'd be therapeutic in a way.
Yeah. Did you take like lessons and stuff? Or you self-taught or what?
Mostly self-taught. I had a season where I was getting instructed by
Garth Brooks.
Yeah. At the time, I really wanted to get to playing in a youth band for church, and I got to know this guy, Andrew Hoff, and just excellent guitar player, and I really looked up to him at the time, and I had another friend who, I guess he had a couple guitars, and I always mentioned like the one that he had. I was like, I really like that guitar. All of a sudden, one day he just gives it to me.
Wow.
I was super blessed by it. But then Andrew Hoff started giving me some lessons. We worked together probably for 6 months to a year, and he kind of got me on board playing in the band, and then from there on out, I just started learning on my own, and he recognized that I really I guess thrived in learning by ear, and the theory of music was often a lot harder for me. So I would say self-taught a lot, but also I got to give props to Andrew for
shout out to him. Mr. Hoff. For sure. Oh, that's cool. You got to learn the Friends way, right? With Phoebe and her like the dragon and the whatever. Yeah. Just make it up. Exactly. Just make it up and swing it. No, that's cool. Also, I read a little bit that you were technically born in Chihuahua in Mexico, and then came here.
Yeah.
Was that one of the Mennonite colonies that are out in Mexico?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, I figured. That's where like all my family's from.
That's
Not necessarily that area, but my mom's family is from the Menno reserves in Mexico, somewhere probably that similar area. And then my dad's family is from other Menno colonies in Bolivia and Paraguay and stuff. So we're all transplants.
Totally. I was born there, lived there until I was, I think, about 2, moved to Landmark here.
Oh, yeah.
And then I lived in Canada I've lived in Canada for over half my life, but I ended up going back to Mexico after I graduated.
Cool. Oh, okay.
With my parents, they had some land there, and they had a lodge there, so then that was a good time.
Growing up, did you guys go back and forth a bunch? Yeah. That seems the typical story.
Yeah.
Luckily, that was never me, but my dad's family, I think they stayed for good from 1982-ish, something like that.
Yeah.
But up until that point, it was basically they'd sell everything and then they'd move back and then we're gonna go back to Canada. They sell everything and they move back, and then they did that probably 3 or 4 or 5, maybe I don't know, a bunch of times. And luckily that wasn't me.
Yeah.
But frankly, I want to go down there and check out the colonies and see what life is like.
See the roots.
Do it, and just like a quick FYI. A lot of people mistake that culture for being fairly primitive and being fairly conservative and traditional, but there's a lot of aspects to it that's quite the opposite. In fact, there's a lot, especially the younger generation, is quite progressive. They're mixing into the culture more, into the Mexican culture, and lots of cool people there. I love them to death.
That's awesome.
So, trying to get more of them to come out sometimes, and whenever I can visit, it's a good time.
Yeah. Well, we were planning on going actually this year, next spring. We were planning on going out. We want to go to Peru. Well, my wife does for her birthday, but obviously with COVID, that's not going to happen. But the goal was then to jaunt over to like Bolivia, Paraguay, and kind of work that in. Get my dad to come with and kind of show us where he grew up, and I still have an aunt and uncle and loads of cousins I've never met or talked to that are down there. But and I think I've also heard that it varies, that some colonies are way more strict and conservative. Totally. And then they have branches off, or like right on the outskirts of that colony, there's like, that son that they lost track of, or whatever, he's gone to the dark side. But it would be definitely interesting to see, and especially going there, I'm not a part of that really. Like, I'm not religious. I got tattoos. It'd be cool to see kind of how that is.
Where it all comes from, right? Like, you can't see the roots of
exactly
the people.
Yeah, it'd be wild.
Sure. South America would be cool to check out too.
Absolutely. Yeah, I want to do all of that.
It's on my wife and I's radar.
Oh, as it should be. And like we've had Mark Reimer. I don't know if he was a teacher of yours back in the day either, but he's a good friend of mine and ours, and he's been on the show a few times. He has a ton of humanitarian work in Ecuador. I want to pop in there and check that out. And
is that the photographer?
And that's his brother. Paul Reimer's the photographer. Mark was the English teacher.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. But there's plenty of places to see.
Yeah.
Whenever COVID wraps up.
Whenever we can travel again.
Yeah. Nice. Once things kind of settle and we can continue, that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely go on Spotify, folks, and check out Micah's music. I don't know, all day. I listened to it again earlier today. I listened to more, and I've been like humming it to myself since we listened.
Nice.
And
I've had more people tell me that, and I mean I've listened to it so many countless times that
right.
Do you ever get tired of hearing yourself?
Well, sometimes in a way, but it's more just you understand that when you're writing or when you're working on music, like it's not always going to be like it turns into some meticulous, like repetitive sort of stuff. So you recognize that. But with the song, I've had people tell me that they had it stuck in their head, or they're whistling it and humming it, stuff like that. So I love hearing that, because I mean, if you have a song people like listening to more than once, and it doesn't have an expiry date that way,
absolutely, yeah.
It's especially weird though to think that like I very often get songs stuck in my head, and my wife hates it because then I just sing the one line all day. But in particular, it's especially weird to do that and then talk to the guy who's in my head. It's a really strange dynamic. I don't know. So this is kind of new for me.
For sure.
But yeah, I imagine that's a strange feeling, I guess.
I mean, ultimately that's what you want, right? You want to kind of be that earworm that just digs in and sits there, and then the more it plays, the more they're going to get it out to people, because they're going to be humming it or singing. They go, "What are you singing?"
Sure thing. Yeah. And that's the thing, completely unintentional. Like I didn't envision that would be the case, and I think a lot of like pop songs that are out there today, they have that goal in mind, right?
Oh, they just want the hook. That's all they care about.
Well, and there's a formula to it a lot of the time. Like they know that if they can do this melody with this hook and this trap and this thing, progression and whatever, then and it'll click. It like somehow it activates a part of your brain.
It's probably not even that people enjoy the song. It's that it's like it's just catchy. And
and you hear it on the radio, 7 times in an hour, so it's easy to get stuck.
Why do you think Cardi B has a career? None of her stuff is none of it's good. No. It's just some of it, or the bass is just catchy enough that like it gets you. And I hate that garbage. But you like what you like, people. You like what you like. Do what you got to do.
Yeah.
I used to be more of a stickler, where it's like, oh, you like them.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, whatever.
Then you look at some of the shit you like, and it's like, okay, I can see how I can catch some shit.
Yeah. As a younger guy, I mean, because you said you're 23, we're both 30. Yeah. So I mean, it's not a different generation necessarily, but how do you think, like, your music tastes? What's big right now? What are the kids listening to, Micah? Man. Tell us. What's the happening? The haps? What's going on?
What's the haps?
What's the haps?
I guess it's really different. I don't even know if I can really clearly say that. I mean, I wouldn't want to go out and
your entire generation's depending on you.
Exactly. Boy,
you're speaking for all of them.
Yeah, for sure. In terms of pop, or in terms of like country, or in terms of just alternative stuff, it'd be so different, right? But I mean, I heard you talk about Core Blend a bit before. Do you guys know Coulter Wall and Tyler Childers?
Nope.
Okay.
No, I don't.
I might have heard their stuff without knowing it was them. I don't know.
The Core Blend and Coulter Wall, I guess they're sort of in the same circle of
right,
of musicians from Western Canada playing more traditional country music. So I know that a lot of younger people that sort of kind of grew up enough in some of the old country stuff that they want to hear more of it. And so that he's kind of gaining popularity. Tyler Childers is sort of the same boat. I mean, the best place to look where kids are getting their favorite music from these days is, I mean, are you guys on TikTok?
No.
The time that I realized that Tyler Childers was sort of breaking out and becoming popular was one of his songs was being used on TikTok. Right? And I'm like, I would have never ever seen it, but people must have liked it enough and thought it fit that they used it.
That's cool.
So, but he's super like traditional, like bluegrass country style.
Right.
No, I'm firmly opposed to TikTok.
Yeah.
No, not that I'm against it as a thing. I'm an old man that I have enough crap to take care of that I'm not.
You don't have time to waste on that.
No, whatever shows up on Instagram or people send me or whatever, then I'll watch it. But I'm not actively searching it out.
Right. But again, it's that thing, right? You just need like that one song that now gets played 100,000 times because it fits, even if it's just to fit a meme or whatever. It is,
old. What's that? Old Tom Road?
Old Town Road, right? Town Road. All that kind of shit. Like it's just that's all you need is the one spark, and then you can take off, right?
Totally. Yeah. So that's where I think that some younger people you can gain popularity through platforms like that, and also just if you have a song that people like, it'll sort of find its way.
Yeah.
So
I feel like there is a bit of a movement within the country scene, whether or not that's true, that people seem to be craving more of that authentic. Whatever that more traditional sounding old school type of country.
I feel like that's probably because in my eyes country music nowadays, like how often do you see a country artist now playing on like the Hot 100 charts, right? Like they're crossing over a lot into that pop genre. So I think country is being a little diluted by that, and now people are sort of yearning for that, like we just want country now.
Yeah. Which I can totally relate to. I'm not a particularly big fan of whatever the pop country or the
Florida
new country.
Georgia lines and that kind of stuff.
They all have their songs that hit, but in general, I'm like they all kind of sound the same. Yeah. And there's not like I don't know. There's like no soul to it. It feels too commercialized or commercial. But I mean that's the pop in general. And again, people dig it and they're making money. Everybody's happy. That's great. Listen to what you want to listen to. But I don't know. Again, I grew up listening to Johnny Cash and whoever else my dad had, just random country guys, Merle and whoever else.
My dad was the same way. It was Waylon Jennings, Merle Haggard. That's all he would sit in the garage and play and drink a 2-4 over.
So. I like that.
Yeah. I got a question. Do you ever smoke weed and then write music?
I have never smoked weed.
Never? Wow.
It's an experience that, I've heard people talk about and they've had good experiences with it, but, that's something that's still on my bucket list, I guess.
Well, I mean, you don't have to, but I've heard, people use it. I mean, I personally, again, I don't create things really except this garbage, but, and I could do this asleep pretty much.
Yeah.
But I have heard that, like doing it, you can access a different thing. I've definitely sat on the deck or
for sure.
or like around the bonfire or whatever, and suddenly you just start thinking of things that you never would have thought of. Yeah. So maybe that's, I don't know.
Maybe because it like unlocks an inhibition where maybe you'd throw away something where like, that's stupid. But now with this, it just lets you, it just tugs on it enough that you go, okay, let's just follow that line and see where it goes.
You'd be surprised how much music is written that way.
Yeah, I believe it.
Not just on weed, but...
Oh, yeah.
All kinds of substances.
And, I mean, that's still illegal, sir, but you can use whatever you want to use, Mike, okay?
You guys know Casey Musgraves?
Yeah.
We were at Folk Fest, and again, don't quote me on this, but I remember, I don't know if it was at Folk Fest when she was there where she mentioned it, or if it was in an article I read, but just that some of her songs she's written on LSD. So.
Yeah.
Right.
I believe it. Well, Randy, you smoke more weed than I do, as a rule.
Typically, yes.
Could you imagine, like, if you were going to create stuff, whether it would help or hurt you?
I think it would help to be sure, right? Like I've mentioned before, like I usually do it now that we're doing Sober October, Ed,
which we can announce after this. But
but so I'm not doing it right now. But typically, I would do it like just before the show because I deal with a lot of social anxiety and stuff. So for me, it opens up and helps me come out of my shell a little more, right, and talk to people. So
how does it feel right now?
It's good. Like it's like I'm used to doing this now, but in the beginning, having guests, I was like, okay, like I don't know, am I going to sound stupid if I'm talking to them, right? But like to sit down and create something, or I think for me it would help. And it depends what kind of strains you get into and stuff like that. Sure. There's a lot more technical aspects to it, but I personally think it would. I know I enjoy doing things and creating more when I'm under the influence per se, but it just helps my brain again take that inhibition away where I'm like, oh, this is stupid and no one cares anyway, right?
Yeah. I've always wondered how that ties into sports. Like they all often classified it as a performance enhancing drug. We're talking about weed specifically, but I don't understand that
because it's not.
It's a little. It's a little backwards, right? Because again, depending what kind you have, like
I think
you're getting lazier, potentially unmotivated. I don't think it in any way enhances athletic performance.
The only case could be made is that CBD is meant to reduce inflammation, which may help you.
Right. Your recovery could be helped.
But so what?
Yeah,
that's not helping you. These are like the most highly tuned athletes on the planet.
Totally.
And so if they can recover, say, a day earlier than they normally would, la-di-da, who
these
cares?
are people that have a track meet and they're going to get an IV in their arm and they're going to sit there for 3 hours and you know what I mean?
I just heard a story. There was a guy in the NFL. I don't know who it was. I forget his name. But basically, he applied for it was like a medical exemption.
I think it was Jarvis Landry because he's been suspended. Josh Gordon.
Well, Josh Gordon was doing, but no, he was just kept getting caught with weed.
Yeah, but I think he did apply for it after. Yeah.
Okay. Well, this other guy had applied, and then he got declined. And then he got fined for even doing it or whatever because he was trying to get off pain meds. He didn't want to be popping pills anymore. So he's like, let me smoke weed. And I'm using it for pain management, which you're prescribing me stuff for.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, that's bad or something. And he lost. I think he ended up getting out of the league because of it because he's like, screw you guys. I can't. Yeah. You're just pushing pills on me and it's not great. Anyway, this conversation's gone way off the rails.
We can talk about football some more. I don't mind.
Yeah, we could. I know very little about football. Well, NFL at least. Randy watches it more than I do.
But did you play football growing up?
I didn't play till I was 16. Okay. Then once I started playing, I was
almost pro. Almost went pro.
Almost, yeah. I got up to junior football. That's as high as I got. Nice. So I played for the Rifles for a season, and that was basically my career. Blew my knee out, and that was sort of
and then broke your foot, and then hurt your knee again.
I had a whole string of injuries, but
I feel like if you can get past that sort of age where some injuries start happening, then you're set up for success. Because I know I had two buddies extremely talented, and one of them, I think his knee got busted, and the other one, I don't even remember what happened to him, but just injuries where they were like, I don't know if I want to put myself through this a lot.
Especially around here where there's not really an incentive. Like if you're in the States playing high school ball, you are.
It's getting better here, and especially in Steinbach too, with the high school program. Yeah. Once that started, it's getting a lot better here. There is Canadian football as the CFL gets bigger too, right? There's a lot more recognition put on the local programs.
Yep.
I go to Saskatchewan, which is the Texas of Canada for football, right?
Yeah.
So it is there for sure.
It's a bit harder, I guess, to organize something even beer league style football. You need so many guys, and if you're gonna go play a quick game of hockey somewhere, it's
and travel time. And
exactly.
Yeah. And depending what you want to do, right? You can't really do tackle football past a certain age because the guys got jobs and responsibilities and kids, right? So the flag gets more. But for me, I can't do flag football because if I'm gonna I was an offensive lineman, so for me, if I'm gonna play, it has to be physical.
Yeah.
So for me to go play pit football to do that is.
Do the linemen still tangle up even in flag football to block and do whatever else?
You block, but it you're not.
Yeah.
It's a lot more hand. For me, it'd be a lot more handwork, right? And because offensive line as a position is very technique based. You can't just be fat and be good, right? There's a technique to it. So there is still contact, but I like to get right up head to head. I'm very physical that way when I play. So for me, flag is kind of off the table for me.
You should wear your champ ring a bit more often.
I should, but I keep it shiny in its case. So.
Yeah.
But you want it as a coach, so whatever. Does that even count?
Of course it does.
Yeah. Of course. I like that. I have a buddy who just got his ring too from being staff at Bombers.
Was it what's his name again?
Jaron.
Yeah.
You guys know him?
Tangentially, yeah. I was
Jared who?
Jaron Friesen. He sells tickets for the Bombers. Actually, I was chatting with him when I got in to meet Adam Bighill.
Yeah.
And then since then we've kind of we're friends on social media, I guess. And he talked about coming on the show actually, maybe. So maybe that'll happen.
Well, look at Edmonton's equipment manager. They just let go. He had 11 Grey Cup rings because he's been with the franchise for 49 years.
Yeah. Yeah, when I saw that he got a ring, I'm like, I need a new job. I need a new job.
They don't get the player's ring, I don't think.
Doesn't matter.
I think it's a smaller version, but still.
Get me a
still big
champ ring.
Yeah, exactly.
Those things are so ridiculous, those cup rings.
Yeah, our provincial championship ring is nothing compared to...
Yeah, that's fair. Anyway, we mentioned our Sober October. This is being recorded on October 4th. It'll probably drop in a couple of weeks or something, a week or two.
Yeah.
But anyway, so basically, we've decided, Randy and I, to do a Sober October.
Right.
Anyone's welcome to join. I am not drinking beer or whatever. I don't drink that much. Wouldn't really mean anything if I didn't do it. But personally, I'm going to go the month, no junk food, no fast food. That's kind of my vice. So I'm going to try and cut that for the month,
Nice.
which is my thing. Randy, what are you cutting?
I have cut marijuana out of my diet.
Yeah, so that's what we were.
I'm usually a once a day smoker, so for me, that's like a big thing to cut out. So
Yeah.
gonna do
So
it.
we'll see how it goes.
See how crusty I get for the first week or so, and then go from there. But
Just on edge all day.
yeah,
But yeah, basically the goal is, to kind of, I guess, discipline and kind of work our way through it and see how it goes. For me particularly, it's a health thing. Like I need to eat better.
right.
And so basically if we can go clean the whole month, we're gonna make a donation to a joint charity, just kind of as a
Nice.
incentive, I guess. And if either of us screw up, we're gonna contribute to the other's charity of choice.
It's gonna be like $5 per mess up, basically.
If we mess up at all, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. The willpower.
Gotcha.
The willpower.
I like this.
So, folks, if you're listening and you want to join in, you have something else that you want to cut out. I mean, you're a couple of days late, but you can get in on it. Why not?
Yeah,
See what happens. And then maybe I'll quit smoking for November.
There you go. At least you done smoking for October.
I know I should have. I thought about it. But I just started physics class, and I'm a dummy, and I couldn't possibly handle the stress of starting school at 30 and not smoke. So we'll see how November looks. Anyway.
Let's talk about that though. Physics, school.
Oh my God.
Tell me.
It's the worst. So basically I'm trying to get into a training program in the next year or two at work.
Yeah.
And I need physics for it.
Yeah.
And in high school, I was a drafting major for the first couple of years. And then I went to an academic because I didn't care.
Yeah.
And so I didn't take any physics. I didn't take any bio, no chemistry. I took applied math, took just the basics. No one told me anything. Now, 12 years out of high school, I'm taking, it's like adult ed physics in class. Most of the people there are like 20 years old or, young like you.
Yeah.
And I'm just this old stodgy guy. I'm like, so what? The teacher's like, well, as you know, this is that, and that's how you do this, and this is the whatever, as if I know that.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, no, math isn't my thing. Cool. So that's a real struggle.
Well, good for you though. I mean, I got to applaud you. I've come across you're probably the third person in the last year where I've come across that maybe the other two were older, I think 40, 45, that went back to school for something. And one of them did it just because he wanted to, and the other one did it because he needed it for some sort of promotion on his job as well. So,
right.
Yeah.
I mean, I applaud those people.
Wow. No,
it's a hard thing to do for sure.
It's just not fun, and it's not like I pride myself on being open to learning things always, and I love reading up on random things and learn. But not math. I hate it, and because it's not something that I want to learn.
Yeah,
I find it really hard to get into it and really absorb what I'm being taught. So that's a bit of a struggle. But basically till June, because I'm doing 30S, grade 11, and grade 12 physics. So I might not have any hair left. So that long-winded way is to say that's why I'm not quitting smoking until maybe I'll do no nicotine November. We'll see what happens. But yeah, so basically I'm going to cut out the shitty food. Randy's going to cut out the weed. We'll see how it goes. We'll touch base in the beginning of November.
I'm going to try to start meditation.
Ooh.
Because mostly I use it for pain management. It's I don't really like taking pills, and I've had a few injuries over the years. So for me, that's mostly what it's for.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try maybe some yoga, some meditation, and see how it works.
Some mindfulness.
I like it.
Smart.
Hugh, anything you want to cut out for the month and join us?
What are you into? What
you didn't know you'd be coming on the show to cut something out of your life now, eh?
It's Dr. Phil.
Dang. Probably...
No, you're not a monster, Michael.
Yeah.
The thing I consume most probably would be coffee, but
that's okay. You can't function without that. That's
exactly.
Fine. I get it.
Don't do this to me, guys.
You have to choose some. No, we're just kidding. But again, if anybody is listening, and I of course, I heard about it from Joe Rogan and his buddies that do it on theirs. And last year I went. What was it? Now I did something. Was it? No, I don't think I avoided meat for the month.
I'm pretty sure you did, actually.
Did I? Yeah, you're right. I think I did. Yeah, I tried it out. So I like to try and just take the time and see how it feels and what your brain does, and kind of just learn some discipline and
kind of good willpower test too, for sure.
Yeah. Conquer the inner bitch, eh? That's what they say.
That's right.
So people, find something that you don't like that you do, and try to do less of it. We'll see how it goes. Month of October, and then see if you can do it forever. Anyway, let's continue.
I will not do this one forever, but yes,
that's fair. I should do it forever, but diet is not my strong suit. So anyway, let's continue. So another reason we wanted to have you on. Apparently, you and your wife are planning on living in a van. Is that sort of the plan?
Yes, it is. And boy, do we have a project in front of us.
And not as derelicts. We should be clear. It's not just a random van. It's something you guys are building into. I guess a tiny home type
tiny
thing.
home sort of trend.
Yeah, exactly. I seen like sort of a trend start when I was maybe 18, and so did my now wife. And obviously, we thought it was cool, right? Like,
which it is kind of.
And we were like, let's do this one day. But it was always just that, like, let's do this one day sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
To be fair, some of those places look nicer than my house.
Yeah. Tight, but
nice. For sure. So we sort of started to research it, and like we really like traveling. We haven't had the opportunity to go anywhere this year, obviously, but so it was sort of an effort to do some more like Western Hemisphere traveling. That was sort of the goal behind it. And also, you can save some money doing that. So
yeah, for sure.
Those two things sort of motivated us to look into it more. So we started looking for vans, and none for sale in Manitoba. That even like there was brand new ones for sale, but we couldn't afford that. So we looked at something sort of like maybe 5 to 7 years old. And,
right.
And then we found one in BC and started talking back and forth. And
was it an actual, just a regular van, or was it one of those like camping vans that you just kind of converted? Or
no, so it's a Sprinter, Mercedes Sprinter. So it's a big cargo van that they often will use for. They also come in passenger versions, but they'll use them for maybe smaller moving companies use it.
I've seen them.
Or often like construction companies will use it. But this one was in really good condition, and we thought let's get it. But so we got it shipped out, and it was completely empty. So we started working on it, and
I watched a couple of your videos online, and just kind of as you guys had it stripped and kind of getting it ready and whatever else. It's cool. So
that's kind of where we're at. We're starting. It's a free time sort of project. We were hoping to put more time into it so far, but we're trying to find more time to work on it, and so we're currently working on wiring it. And
cool. Right.
And so
you have all the layouts done. You kind of know what it wants to look, you want it to look like when you're done and everything.
Yeah. Got the design figured out. We got most of the stuff we've already purchased for it. Just waiting to put it in.
So like, I'm trying to picture the size. So size of what's the base of that?
Yeah, it's about 14 feet by 6 feet. So
wow.
It's
16 wide. 6 wide.
6 wide.
How tall would that be?
And then it's also about 6 tall.
Yeah.
So it's there's apartments in Vancouver that my buddy lived in that are smaller than it. So
right.
Some people live their life like that. And,
sure.
And I mean, so to move into this a little deeper, my wife and I are both not minimalists by any stretch of the word, but we do like the idea of living with less because we recognize we have way too much.
Oh, it's just excess. Like, most of us, especially living where we live. Like when you go to Europe and you're going around and you're seeing these apartments that are just tiny.
Yeah.
And then whole families live in them. And you come here and we're like, we have all the space in the world. Huge, so we've got acres and acres and giant houses and it's wild.
No, last time we moved, I was like, literally, why do we have so much stuff?
Oh,
and I'm sure, I don't know when the last time you guys moved, but you think it's literally, I mean.
You don't realize how much shit you have until you have to put it in boxes.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
It's rough.
And carry it all upstairs.
I know that feeling for sure. We last moved, going on almost 3 years now.
Yeah.
And I told her, I was like, we're either hiring a moving company next time or I die in this house. One or the other.
I know that's the feeling. And so we're hoping to get by with a lot less. And obviously this won't be forever.
Yeah.
Like it's nice. It'll be nice to have, even if like in 3-4 years we bought a house. I mean,
Sure.
we could still take it to the lake
For sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, going to convert it into a bit of a camper van and see if COVID lifts and we can take it places.
Perfect little road tripper.
Yeah. So basically, I imagine like the bed will be like a fold up or something, or how does that?
It's going to be designed where we have sort of a U-shaped couch section that the table falls into and converts into a bed. So
Yeah.
we flirted with 2 different designs where one was going to be a fixed bed and we would have a bit more storage, but it really takes away a lot of the living space. There's 4 feet of living space, but I mean like it really took away from the open concept.
Yeah.
So we switched back to the converting.
Yeah, because you don't want to be stuck in whether it's winter or it's raining or something, and you literally have nowhere to sit except the bed, and that makes sense.
That's kind of thing I've seen. Like you watch those tiny home shows and stuff where they do that. It's like you want everything to sort of have dual purposes, right? Like this thing functions as this, but it's also this.
That's
right?
why I love those shows.
You want to maximize your
Exactly.
The engineering is so interesting.
Everything is like multi-use. Our bathroom area is sort of going to be a multi-use. Like
I didn't even think about a bathroom.
Yeah, so that's going to be an interesting design. But
just the driver's seat just has a hole in it.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen, like, obviously we've done a lot of research as well. So we've seen some crazy stuff what people have done, and I definitely don't think it's practical. But what we're planning is it's going to be sort of a fold-in shower and a pull-out toilet. So
cool.
It's going to be, you guys are going to have to, the listeners are going to have to follow the journey, and you guys, obviously, I'll send you photos.
Absolutely.
When we're moving along, but
that's so cool. Well, actually, I was thinking because in a work van we had back in the day, that actually most of them, because oftentimes you're working downtown, there might not be a bathroom to go to. So actually, in the cube vans and in some of the other work trucks, they would drill a hole in the floor, and then they'd run like a spout.
And then it'd be like a corrugated hose with a little,
like a funnel,
4-piece funnel. You attach to the wall.
They actually had one fabricated that was a legit metal, like container with a lid. You would lift that up, and that was attached to the funnel. And then they would normally come like either just in front of the back wheels or just behind. Yeah. So then you would just like close the overhead door and just take a piss in the truck.
Come by and go, hey, your truck's leaking. What's going on?
Yeah. Don't worry about it. Yeah, it's normal. But, so that's what I was kind of picturing. You could do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Might not work so well for the wife, but it would work pretty well for you.
Well, and that's one of the people I saw did that, and I was like, this is so unpractical.
Well, the problem is it makes your whole place kind of stink.
Yeah, so, you don't keep up the cleanliness for sure.
Yeah,
totally. So, and a lot of people that do this, they are very like nomadic and hippie and stuff like that. So you
might have to start smoking weed to pull this off.
Exactly.
That's awesome. Where are you going to park it? Like, what's kind of the plan when you're done and you're going to be living in it? Is it sort of bohemian and kind of, are you going to go, maybe at your parents' place or then whatever, play it by ear? Or?
Yeah. So there's a couple elements to that. One of it is we've had tons of people tell us, hey, if you need a place to park, you just
you can park in my driveway. It's only like $200 a month.
Well, exactly. And we would take someone up on it. I'm honestly like, no, we have a couple options, a couple plans for places we can park at, either family that has land or friends that have offered they have land. So I mean, and the goal is obviously it's completely off grid, so we're going to be having access to our power through solar panels and batteries.
Cool.
And we're going to have, the only thing really that we'll have to continually monitor and really go back to getting is our water. We'll probably have to fill up water maybe once a week, every 2 weeks. But again, so many ways and places, a lot of research we've done to be so like, cool. We need to, like, going into it, we were very stuck on, we need to have a plan. We don't want to go into this blindly. We don't want to look stupid with it. Like, so most everything's figured out. There's some things that are like, not sure how this is going to work out, but we'll figure it out once we get there. Yeah. And we're both young. We sort of just can do that, right? A lot of people, they don't function that way.
That's the time. That's the time to make your mistakes.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
Just keep trucking. I mean, really, who cares? I love the idea. I've been intrigued by it. I know that I couldn't do it. Like I like it as a
concept.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. As a way of life is great.
Yeah.
I just know that I need some space. I need to
Totally.
kind of sprawl out
Totally.
and kind of go. But
Well, and I've heard like from people that have done it. I actually know someone from Winnipeg that has a van as well, and but people say that you'd think you'd be claustrophobic and you'd feel really tied in, but the idea of that you can go anywhere sort of like negates that again.
it's true.
Right.
And frankly, you could park it in a place where you just don't hang out in the van and you go outside. And what's this person in Winnipeg? Do they have a social media that I can quickly look at?
They do. His name's Scott Adamson.
I'm gonna check his Instagram.
Well, there you go. But yeah, that's just it, right? It's like, oh yeah, I could just up and drive to Banff for whatever and go hang out in the mountains, right?
That'd be
for a
amazing.
while.
Imagine parking your van in the parking lot of Lake Louise,
Yep.
and you wander out and you just, scratch your ass and
Yep.
look at the
Exactly, right? It just becomes kind of your rest spot, and then everything else you're just doing away from it.
Is
Right?
it
Totally.
comes with a view?
Yeah.
Let's check this sucker out. Interesting. Let's throw it up. So he's got his bikes hanging there.
Yeah. He's actually just working on a new one as well. I think this is his previous van, but I mean, he's got some cool.
Some great photography skills too. Shout out to go check out Comes With a View on Instagram.
Yes, sir.
46,000 followers. Holla.
He's got a whole guide to building a van. I see there's a link there.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sweet looking.
If you
dog.
scroll like,
So this would be some like the vehicle you have.
yeah,
Basically.
that
right.
van is the exact same van that we have.
Right.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Like I said, I love the concept.
For sure.
I just know that I could. But like even watching those shows when like everything has double purpose. The stairs fold in and out, and like I love it. It's just so utilitarian.
Mm-hmm.
And it's pretty dope. And frankly, I don't know if my wife would enjoy being that close to me all that time.
Fair enough.
If we're being honest.
Yeah.
Oh wow, is this the one?
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh geez, eh?
Yeah, that's incredible.
That's awesome.
So when it's done, what's the plan? Where are you going first?
I mean, I think we're planning BC now.
Nice.
And obviously we're going to be monitoring the COVID situation. And
Yeah.
if interprovincial travel is allowed or...
Well, it still is. It currently is.
Yeah.
I don't know if that'll change, but who knows? But
yeah,
definitely.
I mean, we had quite a few months to stretch where we're thinking it's going in the right direction. And now I think in Winnipeg...
We're sort of flipping again. But
Yeah. I mean, I guess we'll see what happens.
I'm over it.
I think we're all over it. Be done with it. Go away. Go away.
it'd be nice, eh?
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But be that as it may, where
I have a friend in BC, so he told me, hey, I've got your whole parking situation figured out.
And that's the beauty of it. You could park in a Walmart parking lot, and it looks like a van. Like no one.
This is the funny part, and this was the other thing I was going to mention. We're building it as stealth as possible.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because people get mad, I imagine, sometimes.
Yeah, some people will have like windows all around. They'll have like surfboards up top. They'll have like
Right.
ladders. It makes it so obvious.
Yeah.
Because it's becoming more popular. It makes it
Right.
really obvious.
Sure.
Now, on the other hand, we know people who literally put like shit pumping on the side. So people think it's like,
Right.
they put like a fake business name on the
Straight
side.
incognito.
Johnny's
Yeah.
Exterminators.
Yeah, exactly. To really try and counteract that.
Yeah.
For a couple reasons, right?
You can
can
put our
park-
name on the side if you like.
Do it.
Hey, yes.
There you go.
There you go. I could put like SWAT unit or like
Yeah.
Yeah.
those vans I always get into to like
Yeah, the communication
surveillance
vans.
vans.
Yeah, surveillance van.
Is it a home? Is it the FBI? They'll never know.
Yeah, you'll never know.
Yeah, exactly.
No, that's amazing. Anyway, check for time. Where are we right now? We can start rolling it down.
Down.
So thank you for joining us. Like I said, I am not a musician and I don't live in a van, but I would probably enjoy doing both of those things, at least in moderation. Oh, I was going to mention, with your van, when it's done, it's also like a way to make passive income. There's a big thing now where you can rent out your campers and your RVs and stuff, whether or not you trust people, but there's a whole, much like Airbnb and Uber and stuff.
Right.
You can rent it out. People can use it for a week or two and you make, some money.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's neat. There's another avenue for that.
Totally.
Yeah.
The another quick note that ties the music in the van together, and I had obviously thought of this, but me and my producer Adam were talking about it. He wants to help me with getting into some of the Western Canada music scene a little more, and he's like, "This is your vehicle, like no pun intended."
Yeah,
And
100%.
If you try and like in the future, when the fan base is up and the more music is out, then
Absolutely.
if I'm doing a tour, like, I mean, you need a vehicle to get there. So
Absolutely. And then you don't have to pay for accommodations. You just sleep in the van. You got to be really careful. How does that work for DUIs?
Fair enough.
Because I know with...
I guess if you unhook the battery, you'd be okay.
Well, I guess.
Because I think they say if the battery's disconnected, the vehicle's inoperable.
Just hammered, trying to take your battery apart.
Yeah, exactly.
Ripping off hoses.
Yeah, nobody take that advice like to heart.
No.
I'm not getting in trouble here for nothing.
Yeah.
I've heard of like truck drivers still being able to like drive truck even with a DUI because it's their job.
Yeah, but I've also heard the opposite, where they could get a DUI because they, especially if you're in the winter, they would keep their truck running.
Oh,
and
really?
they would go to the bar. They go sleep in their quote house because where else are they going to go?
Yeah,
and then they get DUIs because they're technically intoxicated with the keys and the blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So maybe it varies by state or province or something. I don't know.
Good point. We'll have to keep that in mind.
Yeah, just have a separate set of keys hidden somewhere so you can whip the other ones far away.
Yeah.
But no, just kidding. But there's definitely some avenues that becomes useful
for sure.
So folks, if you want to build a tiny house or a tiny van, or become a musician, or join Sober October, where can they find you?
Social media, Micah Loewen.
Micah Loewen.
Plain
With an
and
H,
simple.
right?
With an H.
C? Yeah, C-A-H.
M-I-C-A-H.
Yeah. Cool. Micah Loewen. Where you can find us on social media at Two Idiots Podcast on that's the Instagram one, and on Facebook, the Two Idiots Podcast, and on Twitter, Two Idiots Show.
And by email, doubleidiotspodcast@gmail.com.
Boom. Yeah. We'll definitely throw the Spotify link to the show notes for his music.
Thanks, dudes.
Go check him out.
Check it out. Go check
Should be
it
the next
out.
big thing.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah, man. No, it's
No
fun.
problem.
We like to support local creators because I guess that's what we are.
Yeah.
For
I like that.
some reason. I don't know why we are, but we seem to be. So I hope that some people check you out.
Yeah. Any way to help, right? We're all trying to get somewhere and do something with these.
Yeah.
Whatever we're trying to do, right?
Yeah.
So if we can help get the word out there, then that's
We'll build the Two
what we're
Idiots
here for.
van, and then we'll tour the country.
Yes,
too.
sir.
For
Yes,
sure.
sir.
How before we go?
Yeah.
How's the response been on the new single?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. People from everywhere.
Would you say if it wasn't?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I'm very happy with the results, and even local radio has been playing it a bit.
Cool.
So,
I love that.
That's good.
Yeah.
What do you get? Like a penny a listen or a penny a play or something?
Yeah, we can get into that if you want, but I mean,
Very briefly.
Yeah. Different streaming platforms will compensate you differently, and as far as radio goes, it's a little bit more vague, I guess, because there's sometimes not as much ways to track it, but yeah, about a penny.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Well, people just put it on repeat. Go to sleep.
There you go.
Even if you don't want to listen to it, just put it on mute.
Yeah.
Just like us. Do that for us. Just put it on. Make it just keep going.
Yeah, go to sleep. Let it roll through.
Don't even listen to it. I don't care. But awesome. So definitely check him out. Check us out. Follow him on Spotify. Follow us on Spotify. Rate, review, subscribe. All that jazz. I don't think there's anything else we need to touch on.
I think that's pretty much it. Thanks
Cool.
for coming, man. It's been a
Yeah.
blast.
Yeah, buddy.
For sure.
All right, cool. Well, thank you for listening, folks. Definitely check out his music. Hope you enjoy it. Let him know if you like it. And then we can all have a good day, I hope.
For sure. Thanks, guys.
Cool.
All right. Thank you.
Awesome. Cheers. Bye.
Bye.